Start. Where's our battery switch? Battery goes on. Okay. So I've got a written checklist here. Before starting engine, cabin heating, emergency power lever goes to idle. Let's get rid of this. So power goes to idle. Emergency power goes to normal. Where's emergency power? Emergency power. So emergency power goes to, I guess it would stay down there. Power lever is at idle. Yeah, power lever is at idle. Propeller full forward. Propeller goes full forward. Fuel condition lever is at cutoff, which is good. Rudder lock, turn and push to unlock. Wonder how far. Oh, it doesn't look like we have a rudder lock on, so that's okay. Fuel shut off, on. I don't even know where that is. Battery switch on. Wing flaps up. Fire detector test. Annunciator panel. Oh yeah, we have to check our fuel. So fuel is on. Okay, so battery is on. Check voltmeter. Make sure we got 24 volts. Oh. Okay, we better get rid of all that stuff too. That would make for a bad takeoff if we tried to take off with that stuff on. So this, I think, is where static elements. Let's see this now. Static elements are off. Okay. Voltage check for 24 volts. Generator, alt, bat. There we go. Battery volts, 24 volts. Okay. Propeller area is clear. Fuel boost is on. Fuel boost is on. Auxiliary fuel pump is on. Where is the auxiliary fuel pump? Ignition, yeah, I think we'll just not worry about that auxiliary fuel pump. Where the heck would it be? Nav on, strobe on, boost pressure. I wonder if that's it. Oh no, that's a boot pressure. Auxiliary fuel pump. No idea. So I guess we're not going to worry about that one. Okay, fuel pressure is low, check off. Fuel flow, check none. Starter switch, start. Okay, start. Ignition on. Oh, that was not too hard to start. Ignition on. have to give it some fuel. There we go. No fuel, no go. Maybe. It could include a trip in Ottawa. I was thinking about kind of going down to California and then maybe going across and then maybe going back up and then eventually going across the water. Who knows? Who knows where it's going to go? But yeah, it is going to, now I've decided it is going to include a trip to Ottawa. Assuming that I don't crash before I get there, which is always a possibility as well. Alright, so fuel conditioning, refuel flow is good. Let's see here, starter switch, we can turn that off. Starter switch is off. Starter energized, check off. Inverter, well, we're not going to worry about that. Engine instruments, basically good. Charging generators. Where are our generators? Ignition on. Yeah, I think those are automatic. Fuel boost normal. Auxiliary pump is extinguished. Yes. Standby power is on, I believe. Avionics 1 and 2 are on. Nav lights and beacon. Nav is on and beacon is on. Suction gauge. We've got suction, heating, ventilation, defrost as required, radios as required. All right. Okay, so let's see here. Flight plan. Let's push on, clear. Yes. And push on, clear. Yes. Okay. So we are going to go to KSEA. Okay. Yes. I'll just fly direct. Seattle, Tacomma. Enter, accept, enter. And I think that's really all we have to do. So we can get these radios to work. There's a map somewhere. Default nav. Direct. Nope, I don't want to do that. Cancel. Here. Flight plan. Oh, there we go. Now, I wonder if we can turn these maps on as well. Oh, look at this. it's a 5. Don't use it very much, but I actually prefer it for this over VR. I don't really like the VR in X-Plane. And I don't know if you saw this. I bought a the Vive Cosmos. I think you can pick up 5s. If you look on eBay, you can probably get them for relatively cheap, or post a message to the guys in the squad as well, because anybody who's switched over to VR probably has one for sale. I almost considered selling this, and I'm glad I didn't, because yeah, I still use it quite a bit. All right, so let's see what we're gonna do here. Radios. I guess we can just go. I wonder what runway we're using. I guess we should figure that out. So ATIS is 125.5. 125.5. 125. Oh, there we go.
Boundary Bay Information Hotel. 2000
Yeah, I
Zulu
got
weather.
it, and it sucks. I'm
Wind
sending
light
it
and
back.
variable. Visibility more than 10.
I have a lot of trouble
Sky
with
conditions
it.
24,000 view.
My eyes
Temperature
are
10.
really
Dew
close
point 8.
together, so I need to have
Altimeter
an IPD
3039.
that's like 0.6.
Arriving runway 13.
And it goes to
Departing
0.61,
runway
so when I
13.
had it on, it was almost like I was
Advise on initial
cross-eyed.
contact you have
And the
hotel.
controllers don't work very well. And, you know, I read a whole bunch of what other people were saying, and I thought it might be me, because I like to try things, right, and give them a chance. But I'm just, I basically used it for maybe 2 hours, and it gives me a headache. So I'm going to send it back.
Boundary Bay Information
And I'll just
Hotel.
wait for the next thing
2000
that comes
Zulu weather.
along.
Wind light and variable. Visibility more than 10.
3039.
Sky conditions 24,000 view. Temperature 10. Dew point 8. Altimeter 3039.
3039.
Arriving runway 13. Departing runway 13. Advise on initial contact you have hotel.
Yeah, I'm thinking the valve index may be the way to go. It's just really expensive, right? It's going to be like,
Boundary
I
Bay
think it's almost
Information
$1,000
Hotel.
US.
2000 Zulu weather. Wind light and variable.
And you know,
Visibility more
my
than 10.
old one, my old
Sky conditions 24,000 view.
isn't that
Temperature
bad. I'm
10.
thinking I might just wait for one
2.8.
more generation.
Altimeter 3039.
Yeah, that's what I understand.
Arriving
It's
runway
like the best.
13.
But you can't get,
Departing
well, I don't know
runway
if you can get them in
13.
Ottawa, but apparently
Advise
you can't
on
get them
initial
in,
contact you have hotel.
in Canada, or they're hard to get in Canada. Have you heard that? Alright, so let's see here. So 1516165. 165. Like I said, I just, from what I was reading, they're really, really hard to get here. So once again, it's just a reason. I think I got carried away because I wanted something new, and then after I get the Vive, I realized that actually mine isn't so bad. So I'm just gonna, you know, like I said, wait for a little bit here. All right. So let's see what we got going on next here. So taxi. All right. Oh, I can't remember what runway they said. Wasn't paying attention here.
Boundary Bay Information Hotel.
Active
2000
runway
Zulu weather.
31.
Wind calm.
Runway 31. I'll get all my money back. I've got this, I sell stuff on eBay, and that's kind of my account for fun stuff. And so, you know, whenever I get enough money, I can buy something new. So I'm basically just put my money back into my eBay account and wait until such a time as something better comes out or the index comes available. Okay, so we have to go, where are we going to go? We're going to taxi down this way, go like that. 31, that's kind of bizarre. It's a bizarre runway. I don't ever remember taking off on 31. I think I'll take off on this runway here. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to take off on 31. Okay. Where's my emergency brake? Emergency brake. There's my emergency brake. How much flaps am I going to use here? So, okay. Yeah, it is. Yeah. You need to, well, you should try the, like I said, you should try the X-Plane out, that free version, and see if it'll run on your computer. I'm really liking this. I didn't do it for a long time, but I'm really kind of getting back into it. Alright, so flight controls. Let's see if everything is working properly here. Let's go outside. Instruments, fuel boost, check normal, tanks are both on, I think they're both on, yeah. Fuel quantity, fuel shut off, set for takeoff, Okay. Let's see here. Trim. Trim. Set for takeoff. Yeah, that looks like set for takeoff. Okay. Set for takeoff. Let's see here. Standby power, pre-flight check. Check on gyros. Test. What are we going to do for flaps here? Flight director. Autopilot. Yaw damper. Yaw damper needs to be on. Where's my yaw damper? Oh, better turn our oxygen on too. There's our yaw damper. What's that? Flaps up. Conditioning, parking brake, pitot, static heat, vent, annunciator. Oh, maybe we'll find it, maybe we won't. Okay, well. Alright, flaps, what are we going to set for flaps here? Engage, stress to test, trim, wing flaps 20 degrees. see what happens here. This could be interesting. off a lot sooner than I thought it would. Yeah, I could put it on autopilot, but where would the fun be if we did that? Over, I guess, Juan de Fuca, maybe? How far is it? Flight plan 83.5 miles. DTK 148. So if I 148, so I guess I kind of, that will probably, if I keep that kind of there, that should point me to where I'm going. Fuel conditioning, or sorry, prop conditioning. Turn off my landing lights and my taxi lights. And I think that should give us more speed, I think, if I condition my props. The graphics are way better than DCS, that's for sure. I've been downloading the satellite imagery as well, which also kind of, so I mean the X-Plane stuff is pretty good, but if you download the Google Maps and stuff, you can lay them on top of the mesh, and the quality is a lot, obviously a lot better. Be a great plane to actually have in real life too, a Cessna 1 or Cessna 208. I can't remember, you know, I had, I think I told you this before, I had an Alienware 3.0. It was a pretty small computer, and I played X-Plane with it for quite a while. You wouldn't get this level of graphics, but it worked pretty good, and it had like a 4 megabyte card in it. So, I mean, you can turn down the graphic quality, and then it still plays pretty good. And you've got all the right equipment as well, right? Like with the Thrustmaster and with the Warthog and all your other stuff. The pedals, a killer deal that you got. Yeah, that's a sweet deal. I would have loved to have found something like that, because I looked on eBay for a long time before I decided to actually purchase my stuff, and I couldn't find anything. Nothing like that. Like even trying to find a Warthog, everything was like basically pretty much full price. day. Nice day to be flying. Nice. So there's this other mod that's available with the clouds. It's supposed to make the clouds a little bit more realistic, and I think it's on sale right now. But you know, I'm just worried about all this stuff adding even more overhead to the graphics. Oh, really? Looking for the Thrustmaster Sim racing pedals. So you do the racing sims as well? Oh, probably. Yeah, I should be okay. I like racing on my, I've got, for my PS4, I've got, oh, what is it? I've got a couple of pretty good racing games on my PS4. Oh, visibility just got really bad. Okay. We're flying IFR now. Yeah, that's it. Project Cars 2. What if we should try to get down below this? Yeah, I like it. I take it with me when I travel. I usually take my PS4 with me, and like 2 or 3 games, and that's one of the ones that's pretty much regular on my list of games to take. This got just really bad here. How do I get back to my map? Instrument rules, flying in IFR conditions. This is what killed the Kennedy. He was flying out to Martha's Vineyard, and he wound up in instrument flight conditions and went into a spiral dive and crashed because you can't look outside. And actually, when you're really flying, you can't tell what the airplane's doing either. Oh, there we go. It looks like we're coming out of it. I think I'll drop down here. Drop down like 500 feet. Go down to 4,500 feet. That's definitely not Seattle. So are you going to, Bobby, are you going to fly again tomorrow? Are you going to try to do more carrier practices? Have you, here's another one to look at. Do a search for Banklers. I think it's called Banklers Case 1. It's spelled Banklers. And it's a mission that you can load. And what it does is it actually gives you a grade at the end as well. So you can see exactly how you did. Like, I think the best, it's like out of 75. So it's not quite as good as Airboss, but it's pretty good as well. You know, it tells you if you're too high or too low when you kind of go into your brake and stuff. So take a look at that. It's called Banklers Case 1 if you do a search for it. All right. So we're flying around the world. This specific leg is from Boundary Bay in British Columbia to Seattle, Washington. Started off in Squamish, British Columbia, which is my hometown, and flying a variety of aircraft. Today we're flying the Cessna Caravan. Yesterday we flew the 172, but we also have a number of airlines which we'll use for longer legs. 737 Zibo, obviously, which is one of the best mods ever. It's free too, which is really nice. We got 757, 767. We got the A320, I believe. The 727. So a variety of different airliners which we'll use for our longer hops. One of the reasons why I'm going to Seattle today is my next hop is actually going to be a little bit longer, probably 400 or 500 miles as compared to just say 100 miles. So we'll use a what do we got going on down there? I'm like a dog. I get distracted really easily with the scenery. Trying to keep it right around 4,500 feet as we head towards Seattle, about 50 miles from Seattle right now. Yeah, I like the 727 too. I've got the 737-200 as well, which is a pretty cool, like that's really the older style 737 with the smaller engines on it. Yeah, that's the old school one. Yeah, and it doesn't have all of the fancy avionics in it as well. I mean, you can download the avionics for it, but you're basically flying from VOR to VOR, so that's pretty cool as well to be able to do that. So we're down to 2,000 feet. I think this is, I don't really want to go much lower than this. If we can get through these clouds, what we'll do is we'll probably climb again up to 3,000, maybe 4,000 feet. We'll stay at 2,000 feet for now. Mainly a VFR flight. Flies the 727 or the 737-200. Yeah, I definitely need a lot more practice in that plane. I've flown it maybe a half a dozen times, but it's or I need to read the book. I just don't like reading books. Takes too much time. More fun to actually learn while you're doing it rather than reading the manual. So what are we? 45 miles from Seattle, from Tacomma International Airport. What we'll do is we'll land on 16 Lima, 16 left. I believe it's 16 left. Getting a little bit clearer now. All right, let's climb back up to 4,000 feet. Turbinator 97. I'll have to look them up. Let's get back on track here. up, passing through 2,800 feet. Heading a 149. Heading is good. These, I believe, are the San Juan Islands. Not a big fan of flying over water either. Water makes me paranoid. I've flown over to in a real Cessna from Squamish to Vancouver Island a few times, and you know, it's about 35 miles over water, and you know, airplanes are pretty reliable. Airplane engines are pretty reliable, but yeah, I don't like doing it here. I was thinking, what if that engine stops? Yeah, pretty reliable. I actually had an engine failure in the 172, and it wasn't even a real engine failure. It was a what happened was the plane had been in for repairs, and when they attached the throttle back together, they missed the pin or something, and I should have known not to go because the throttle was really sticky, but I had people with me and I decided to go anyways, so we went. And when we were coming back into Squamish, once again over the water, because basically, you know, you have to fly over the ocean to get to Squamish, I was down onto my downwind leg, went to put it to, sorry, I was coming down, I put it to idle, went to give it some throttle to level out at a downwind altitude, and the throttle basically didn't go in and it jammed. So now I was coming in and I had no throttle. Unfortunately, you know, the runway was right there. I just basically turned onto final and landed right on the threshold. So I mean, it turned out to be a good landing, but it scared the beat Jesus out of me. And that was probably about 10, 12 years ago. And I flew twice more after that, and then I didn't fly anymore. And you know, that's one of the reasons why I started getting back into X-plane, was because I really wanted to start flying again, and I figured this was a good way just to get proficient at it, and kind of get over that. Well, X-plane doesn't really help you get over the fear, because there's nothing to really fear. I mean, if you crash, you crash. But to kind of get me back into that mode of, you know, being safe and everything else. And the one thing about flying is, if you can't do it on a regular basis, oh, is did Twitch end? Eric, can you still hear me? Can you still see me? Did my Twitch go down? Or is that a message from earlier? Oh, okay. I just saw that message that said, are you getting back on Twitch? But maybe that was from before when I logged off. Yeah, so anyways, really scary event. And made me a whole lot cautious. Yeah. Okay, what went on here? Why did I just lose? Did I go that far off a course? Alright, let's see if we can get our flight plan back here. I wonder how we get this map up. So the flight plan is there. Oh, there we go. Oh yeah, we're way off a course. Okay. I was talking and not paying attention again. You can tell by looking at these needles down. Oh, look at that. That needle's just jumping all over the place. Okay. Let's get back onto the line. You had your radios go down. Yeah, that would also be pretty scary, you know. Were you in a controlled or uncontrolled airspace? Practice area. Yeah, I can remember. I've had, yeah, you know, it's funny. You think back about all the things you do when you're, I don't know about yourself, but when I was learning, right? And even the first time I soloed, you know, I was so nervous, and I made some major mistakes. The air traffic told me to go right, and I went left. I just missed another airplane. Like it was pretty sketchy. And the practice area where we used to go to, which was super busy. So I mean, it was basically a practice area for Boundary Bay, Langley, Pitt Meadows, all of these areas around Vancouver. And there was actually a couple of accidents in there where planes ran into each other. So it got to the point where nobody, people stopped going into the practice area because there were so many students learning in there that it became a really dangerous place to be. All right, so we're coming up to Seattle now. You can see it in the distance. The Seattle area here, I-5. Yeah, especially when you're a student, right? Like if the airspace is crowded and you're a student, when there's a lot of planes flying around with people that are just learning, it's a recipe for disaster. So I think that in this area, just outside of Boundary Bay, there was 2 collisions over a 3-year period. And after that, too, all the planes started putting strobes. All the not instructors, but the flight schools started putting strobes on the airplanes to just make them a little bit more visible. Before that, they didn't have the strobe lights. So, golf course. Get out for 18 holes. Is it starting getting cold in Ottawa yet, Bobby? Like, has the temperature gone down, or is it still pretty warm? Well, yeah, that's usually the way it works. Awful things happening to make new safety rules, yeah? Kind of like the whole 737 MAX fiasco, which is going on right now. Yeah, we've been getting a bit of frost here too. So it's been getting down to, I think a few days ago it got down to 0 in Whistler, right? So it was like it was 4 degrees here in Squamish. So winter's definitely around the corner. Wonder if we could see Bill Gates' house. It's probably I think he's over on an island somewhere. Yeah, it's the glowing one, sure. I'm trying to remember what area this is. I think this area over here is actually that's where the Microsoft offices are. I can't remember what that's called. So this is downtown Seattle here. And then you have this area. It's not Renton, it's called something else. I can't remember. like Seattle. It's a nice city. Good place to visit. They've got a great fish market there. Alright, so how far are we here? Let's say there. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, if you're into things like fish, valid point. Yeah, if you're not into fish, then probably wouldn't really be your thing. So this bridge right here that goes across this, there's videos when it was, I guess, originally built in the 60s or the 50s, maybe even the 40s, and it's now a floating bridge, but at the time it was originally built, it was a suspension bridge, but they built it incorrectly. And you get the winds coming through here, and when the winds were coming through it, the bridge started vibrating up and down, and eventually it got to this like into this sign pattern where the bridge was kind of going like this, and you may have seen videos of it, and it completely collapsed. So this brand new suspension bridge that they'd built, oh, it's either this one here, or I see there's another one over here, maybe it was this one over here, but it was one of these bridges that span this area. I think it might have been that one there, and then they replaced it with a floating bridge later, at a later point. Alright, so we should be getting pretty close to seeing the airport now. Oh, there it is. There we go. All right. Okay, so we're going to take 16 left. Start a nice slow descent. Props are going to go back to full. So 16 left, or 16 Lima, that would be this runway right here. See if we can get on the Pappy too. We're still a little far away. I can't really see the lights. Oh, well, we're actually, I think I see one red and 3 white, so we're a little bit high. So we'll start dropping down, start reducing our speed, start trimming. As soon as we get into that white arc there, we can put our flaps down. Yeah, no overhead brake in a Caravan. Alright, let's get down here below 120. We can put it. There, we can throw down our first set of flaps. Probably don't need more than one set of flaps here. What are we at there? I'll go down to one more. Speed of this is, we'll say it's probably around, I don't know, 80 maybe? Anybody else know what the landing speed of a Cessna 208 is? Yeah, we're going to go for 80 miles an hour. So we got high. No AOA on this. It'd be nice to have an AOA, angle of attack indicator. Red light came on, so we want 2 reds and 2 whites. That'll give us our correct glide slope. A little bit high still. A little bit high. There we go. There, we're on the right glide slope now. No wind. Oh, now we're a little low. But that's okay. We're basically at the runway. Okay. Cut our power. Didn't really sound like we touched down, but I guess we did, obviously. Not still flying. All right. Okay, get our flaps up. Yep, I was good when you land. Any landing you can walk away from, right? Let's go park over with Alaska Airlines. Park in the main terminal. We'll pay those landing fees. Probably like, I don't know, what would they charge for landing fees at Seattle Tacoma? A couple $100 anyways, probably maybe a couple thousand. Oh, there we go. Let's head over here to 4. That looks like a good place to go. To terminal. All right. Oh. Let's go onto the line there. There we go. All right. Successfully completed this journey in one piece, like you said. Put on our parking brakes. Put on our park brakes. I don't think we can put on our parking brakes, but we need to go out of X camera, disable. It won't let me grab it. Oh, I know why. There we go. Got to release the brakes before you can do that. Okay. And idle cutoff. Done. Yeah, probably a steal compared to Ottawa for sure. Yeah, I'm sure Ottawa is really expensive with all of the government stuff that comes in there. Alright, okay, so that took about an hour. I guess I'll have to fill in my logbook. Anyways, hey, thanks for watching, Bobby. I'm gonna head to bed. And also thanks to the other people who are watching. If you want to see more, subscribe. And we're going to be flying around the world. So, hey, everyone, have a good night. And Bobby, do your practicing. Yeah, we'll talk to you later. Bye.